I'm like, oh, you
Yeah.
fucking cunt.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
All right, is it 8 o'clock yet? Oh,
Or they hide just behind a box just enough to knife you in the asshole as you're fucking not seeing them. I hate that shit too.
yeah.
Battlefield 2. I used to get, oh man.
Oh yeah.
I don't know how many verbal threats got thrown at 10-year-olds.
Yep. All right, we are starting. We are live and in effect. Thank you guys for showing up. This is me without my green screen. You can see my dog in the background, and there's a box down that I forgot to clean up. My name is Garrett, and I'm here with Stadia Pro Gaming. How you doing?
I am doing good. How are you doing?
I am good. So, who the hell are you? What do you do?
Well, I'm Stadia Pro Gaming, William Piper. I live in North Dakota, and I stream some games, man, with my large head floating on the screen. Sometimes have a little commentary.
Yep.
Sometimes don't.
So, what games do you like to stream?
I like to stream Breakpoint, Wildlands, Red Dead. What else? Baldur's Gate 3. I really like that game. That's about it, I think.
Oh, okay. There's a ghost in your background.
Yeah, I seen that.
So what is your what are the times you like to stream for right now? So people can
Well, I am Central Standard Time, and I try to stream Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays between 12 p.m. and 2 p.m.
Okay.
Central Standard Time. But Wednesdays I do a show called Stadia Hype, and if I'm doing that show, I don't stream Wednesdays. So
Gotcha. Is Stadia Hot like every other week, or is it whenever?
it's every week for now, but we're adjusting things. So
Gotcha.
we're gonna do one main event a month to where they go head to head on a game, and the ref gets between them, of course, and then we're gonna do hype shows, and we'll explain what that is eventually.
Gotcha. Unfortunately, Ray 3473 decided to show up. I thought I hid it from him, but whatever. And Spectre showed up. Thank you guys for showing up, even though I like to give Ray 3473 a hard time most of the time. So, Stadia hype. I haven't seen any Stadia hype. Like, can you explain what it is? Is it like a head-to-head show, multiplayer show, or are you guys like debating stuff?
No, we're not debating stuff. Well, in a sense, I guess. What it is we have two trash talking titans. We have Ray 3473, the gaming cyborg, and we have Cowboy from the channel, and now Your Mama Knows.
Mm-hmm.
And they both talk trash, and they both pick a Stadia game, and they each try to use their personality and their trash talking to hype up their game while trashing the other person and the other person's game.
Gotcha. I bet it's chaotic.
Oh, it is. It needs a referee. That's where I come in.
So yeah, because Ray said something about you dressing up as a referee.
Yeah. I have an outfit. It's not with me tonight, but I have one.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I forgot to wear my onesie. I guess my 100 subs will be the night that I get my onesie. So whoever's not subbed better get subbing if you want me to wear my onesie. So
does it have the feet covered too?
I have to go and buy it.
Oh.
I have to ask the expert of onesies, Ray for 3473, on what goes into buying a onesie, because I heard that's his like secret hobby.
His onesies. Interesting.
Yeah, like he tells me like it's like, oh yeah, you guys should see my onesie collection. I'm like, oh, why don't you hang it up in your gaming room? He's like, oh, I don't want anyone to make fun of me.
Wow.
So
a whole collection. I'm gonna have to ask him about that.
Yeah. I was thinking about Sonic or Crash Bandicoot, something like that, something like really out there. So, SBCN. How did you get involved on SBCN?
Oh, that's a long story, but they did something called the Stadia Bash, and I was a part of that once and then twice. and it was really, really cool. Felt good. Felt really good building the momentum, meaning somebody hands a stream off to you and so many people pop in and you might grow that stream and then you hand it off to the next person. It's pretty exciting, especially for small content creators. And Anthony and Spectre, they both set it all up, and it went really, really well. And then later on, which you had them both on and discussed this pretty much, so I'll make it real short and sweet. Stadia Vet and Spectre and Anthony all got together and they were all like, hey, we would like to keep this going, but you can't do a bash every week. And so they ended up with the SBCN, the brainchild of all three of them. And I wasn't reluctant at all because I really enjoyed the bash, and I really enjoyed the setup on how you hand off people and people hand people off to you, and it was just really cool. So I was on board right away.
And hold on 1 second. Last stream I saw you was Doom. Was it Doom Eternal or Doom 2016?
Doom 2016.
All right, and that's the game you're streaming for SBCN right now, right?
Yep, or that's the last one I did, yeah.
Okay, do you like switch off like every stream, or you kind of like stick to one game?
Yeah, I switch it up. Now, when I was grinding out Breakpoint, I did like 3 or 4 of those in a row, and then ended that series with Killin' Walker, with Ray and Stadia Vet and Bad Karma, and myself. But yeah, usually I switch it up. At one point, I was toying around with, before Stadia hype started, of doing a Pro Wednesday where I just play a pro game, pick a pro game and check it out, or a few pro games. But now I don't normally stream Wednesday, like I said, if I have Stadia hype going. So
gotcha. So what day do you stream for the SBCN so people know?
What have I streamed for the SBCN?
What day? What's your time slot?
Monday at 12 Central Standard Time.
Yep. Okay.
And before me, Royal Donut Gaming, he goes at 12, that would be 10 CST my time.
Gotcha. And do you have anybody going after you?
Yeah, actually, we had a new person that just joined the SBCN. Not the newest, but a new person, Sammy in the Cloud. He goes after me on Mondays. So I'm pretty excited to be, handing off the people for him after me. So,
gotcha. Welcome, Sloa Rose. Holla to the stream. Welcome, Chariot Man Gaming. I'm surprised I haven't made you a mod yet. Holy crap.
Yeah, you should. He's an awesome individual, man.
Yeah, I like to make all my friends mods. Let's see if I could do it through oh no, I can't. I have to go through my I'll do it.
Your dashboard?
Yeah, do it through my dashboard. Let's see. There we go. There we go. He's Chariot Man Gaming's now a moderator. So
woo.
Yeah, it's a glorified hall monitor that I really don't ban anybody. You can call me a fat bastard and I won't ban you. Just don't spam in the stream. That's all I ask. So who else do you stream with besides Ray and Anthony? Wasn't you that streamed with Ray and Brandon on Breakpoint once in a while?
Oh yeah, I stream with. I play games with a whole lot of the Bash Brothers, and but usually I don't do like co-streams and stuff like that. But I will certainly have people that do stream play with me while I stream, and then by the end I let them do a shout out as well, because it's important to know if whoever's watching me to know who I'm playing with. So.
Gotcha. So what? Other than the games that you been playing on stream, what other games have you been playing?
Let's see. I played a little bit of Divinity 2 on the PC the other day with a buddy of mine. Okay. But mainly Stadia. That's pretty much my go-to. Playing a lot of Doom. playing a lot of Breakpoint. I just picked up Watch Dogs Legion, thanks to another Bash Brothers Squids, and we're going to be playing that online, running around causing chaos.
Gotcha. Now,
Yeah, and Hitman. Now, I can't play Hitman like Eli Levy, but I do enjoy Hitman, though. So I play that too.
yeah, I had Hitman 1 and 2 on the PS4, so when I picked up Hitman 3 on the PS5, I got all the maps on 1 and 2.
Right
So I'm
on. What do
like,
you think of Hitman 3?
couldn't get past the training.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'm like, okay, well, I got this. I got all the Hitmans, and my my PS5 collection back there,
hmm
it's between my PS4 and my Switch collection is pretty small, so that's probably one of the reasons why I picked that up. See, with me all week, I've been like super addicted to Cold War. I've been wanting to get Prestige Master, so that means get up to rank 200 in
Okay.
multiplayer and zombies. So that's what I've been doing. I'm rank 63. Then on my gameplay channel, I've been doing the single player on that. Then once in a while, I'll play on Switch, and I've been playing Smash Bros and Mario stuff. But
So how
so
do you get XP in the just kills?
yeah,
The zombie
kills,
kills or
ejectives. Since I'm over 55, when the game first came out, I I get officer challenges when new seasons come out. So those are 10,000 XP per challenge, and the challenge that I did reluctantly was um 500 kills with an LMG, and I hate LMG, so that was
that's a big machine gun, right?
yeah, so
Yeah.
that was 50,000 XP, because every 100 kills you get 10,000 XP. But like always been a what's it called, Call of Duty guy. So like I reluctantly play every Call of Duty every year, so and I fall out, I get back into it.
I'm a Battlefield guy.
Oh,
And
okay.
no, I haven't played Battlefield 5 or 4. Battlefield 3 broke my heart. I had a PS3 and I had like, I don't know, 4 controllers and like 18 games, and Battlefield 2 was one of them. And that was one of the only games that I actually played every day. I got so good at that game that I could sniper people with a shotgun from
Hmm.
long range with a slug, because I knew how fast the bullet would drop from across the map. So I
Right.
could just aim above them, and it would thunk and hit them. Anyway, I traded on all of those games plus 2 controllers and Battlefield 2, the game I played every day, for Battlefield 3. And what they did is, when they went from Battlefield 2 to Battlefield 3, they got rid of the bad company
Hmm.
like story,
Hmm.
and they also swapped a whole bunch of things over to the Call of Duty type of game, where flashlights can blind you, and when you go to like jump over a fence, you
Hmm.
come over, and instead of jumping over the fence, your legs just kick over it. You know what I mean? It's got
Hmm.
a little animation, shows your hand come down and then your legs kick over.
Right.
Very Call of Duty esque. Anyway, yeah, I hated Battlefield 3. So
So so stuff like that, that's the reason why you didn't like it.
well, it was just very, very, very different. The mechanics were very different. They overhauled the whole game, and they did make it more like Call of Duty. But
Hmm.
that's not why I didn't like it. I just didn't like it, if you know what I mean.
Gotcha.
Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, it was very different from 2.
Yeah, Call it. I mean, Battlefield 3. I I don't know. Like, I really liked Bad Company 2. That was probably one of my
Yeah.
favorite. Bad Company 1, I liked the story better,
hmm
but Bad Company
I like the
2.
expansions. I like the expansions of 2 better. The
Gotcha.
Vietnam one.
Okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
because I didn't really play the expansions on Bad Company 2 or 1.
Yeah, they were pretty good. But yeah, it's just sad. I traded in all those games, and I was so excited to bring home Battlefield 3, and I
Yep.
popped it in, and oh man. And so this might have played a part too, that I picked up the game like 2 months after it came out.
Hmm.
So everybody had already been playing it, and Sometimes when you're late to the boat on some of those PvP type of games, you spawn in the world, you take 10 steps and you get shot in the head, and it's like over and over again until you start to, it clicks with you and you start to get better. Those games can be quite frustrating.
Gotcha. In the chat, Ray says he loves me. Well, I don't swing that way. Let's see what else we have. Jeff in the stream. Welcome, Jeff. How you doing? Feel free to tell us what games you've been playing. It doesn't have to be Stadia, or bonus points if it is Stadia.
Now, what's interesting is Jeff. Jeff plays retro games, and he's as old as Moses, and he farts dust, so he has a very large collection. He will tell you this is true.
You mean stuff like that?
Yeah, big collection. Yep. He likes retro games and stuff.
My middle shelf is nothing but 360 stuff and some original Xbox stuff. Down there, you can see my PS3 stuff, and on the very bottom stuff on the shelf that you can't see is some old Wii games, big box PC games, and my cartridge games.
So I know you're the interviewer, but I have a question for you. What's your favorite game of all time? Doesn't matter what console or what, it could be an Atari game. I don't care. I was just wondering what's your favorite game.
Ooh, that's a hard one. It used to be Persona 4, then Golden ruined that. I didn't like Persona 4 Golden. All times, that's really hard. I guess Step Mania or Dance Dance Revolution.
Right on. Now going by year, it'd be way easier to say what game is, definitely. But I'm going to go with an old classic, Bionic Commando for the NES.
Oh, okay.
That game was fun.
I played Bionic Commando Rearmed, or the one for the 360. That one was not good.
Yeah. Well, there was not the one that was all 3D and you had like that weird arm and stuff. I mean the old Nintendo game, and then they did what was it? Bionic Commando Rearmed. It was for the PS3, but it was digital. It wasn't.
I played that one too. That one was good.
Yep, it was just like the 2D version, but just a little better. Like they reworked it just a little bit.
Gotcha. Let's see, on the Super Nintendo, you can't go wrong with Mario RPG or Super Mario World, or if we get away from Mario, I really enjoyed Smash TV or Uniracers.
I'm going to name a title you may know of it, but most people may not. ActRaiser on the Super Nintendo.
Yep.
That was pretty awesome.
I put it on my Super Nintendo Classic or Mini, whatever it's called.
Oh, awesome.
So I hacked my Super Nintendo Classic. I put a bunch of games on there I like. I used to be really into the old classic JRPGs like Breath of Fire,
Secret of Mana,
Lufia.
Lufia.
Yeah, Lufia's Fortress of Doom. I really enjoyed the beginning song of that. Like, I didn't really enjoy the game, but I really enjoyed the beginning part of that. Last year, my favorite game was Yakuza Like a Dragon. I really enjoyed how they took the old classic Yakuza game and just flipped it on its head, changed the battle system, and it turned out really good. What was your favorite game?
I actually watched you stream that, and it was very RPG-esque, with all the move steps that you had to do and what combination you could do them in, and it was that was pretty interesting.
It's Yakuza Like a Dragon is actually pretty easy if you know RPGs. If you don't know RPGs, you're gonna have a hard time.
But yeah, I really enjoyed, at least in the 90s, I enjoyed Final Fantasy VII, the original. I put a hell of a lot of hours into that game. And then, like the last boss battle could take hours.
Right.
Like it was amazing. I really like that game. I have not played the remake though.
Okay.
I heard that is amazing.
It's pretty good. Some parts drag.
Oh
Some parts
really?
drag too long. Like like they add certain puzzles in the Shinra building that kind of drag. But they had to figure out how to take a 6 hour part if you're rushing into a 50-hour RPG. So
True.
and
I heard that.
and it's just a lot of unnecessary loading that kind of slowed it down. But the PS5 version, I hope that they fix all that.
Yeah. I realized that the PS5 and the Series X has a hell of a lot of they're waiting for a next gen patch,
Mm-hmm.
but basically all the games were built for the previous system, you
Right.
know. So when the PS5 finally does have they play up to their strengths, like with the SSD and stuff. I think a lot of that stuff will be a thing of the past. Load times and
Yeah.
stuff like that.
Speaking of that, I was playing Crash Bandicoot 4. They released a PS5 version. Virtually no loading times at all.
Oh wow,
So what was
that's interesting.
yeah? So what was your favorite game last year?
Last year, oh boy. Well, I can't pick that one. It's not even out yet. That's an early access. I'm gonna say Baldur's Gate 3. Hmm.
Well, the what's it called? The Game Awards picked a early access or a beta for a game a year, or they
Did
did a
they?
2 year old game for best
But
multiplayer.
I would say Baldur's Gate, because like I said, I've been on Stadia since it come out, and I haven't played much other than Stadia. So, like, I know that Ghosts of Tsushima, however you say it, you can say
Tsushima?
it. Tsushima, yeah,
Tsushima.
is
The T is silent.
Tsushima, is really good.
Mm-hmm.
And I watched some people play that, but I didn't get a chance. See, this is the curse with me. I refuse to buy a Switch for Mario and Zelda, even though I love Mario and Zelda. And I refuse to, buy a PS5 for Ratchet and Clank, So I missed some titles, but I guess Sony thinks it's a great idea to move a bunch of their properties to PC. So I will get a chance to play some of them. Like, I know they sold a shit ton of copies of God of War, and they're ready to do it again on PC. I know that.
Yeah, hopefully they put it on PC. They did a PS5 patch where it has high resolution and 60 FPS, so I might go back and play it. But
that would be worth checking out. I watched my nephew. My nephew bought a PS4 just to play that game.
yeah,
And it was really well done.
but look, check out this Mario themed Switch. You're gonna pass this up.
Yeah, I don't want to spend $200 to play a Mario game and a Zelda game, because all the other games on there don't matter to me, because I can play them in better forms in other places. So all I would be really getting it for is Mario or Zelda. And if Stadia wasn't as portable,
Mm-hmm.
I would probably buy a Switch just so I could have some of those games portable,
Mm-hmm.
But long time ago, I had a Sony PSP, and I had that thing all modded out and had a bunch of stuff on it and movies, and
Oh
because
yeah.
you could take two 64 gig memory cards, put them into another like sleeve, and then slide it in, and you could have like ungodly amounts of storage. It was pretty sweet.
Have you messed around with the PS Vita modding scene at all?
No, I haven't. But when the PS Vita, maybe it has by now. I guess it's been a year or two since I've looked into it. But as soon as you can do what I was doing with the PSP with the Vita, I'll be getting one of those too.
So check
'Cause they're
this
just-
out.
They're just cool.
I have my Vita modded to hell. I have a I have a dummy memory card where you actually put it in the game slot, and you could put
Right.
in a what is it? What are those tiny
It's a micro SD
yeah,
card.
micro SD, and it thinks it's a game. And since I have a custom firmware, the custom firmware acts like it's a memory card. So I have like odd, like like tons of space on that.
Yeah,
And there's a software on there where you can actually download Vita games directly onto your system.
like the Nintendo went after a bunch of them, but like the Nintendo emulators where you could just type in Double Dragon and it would be like, oh, it's right here.
Yeah, pretty
Is that
much.
what you
Like,
mean?
yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Like you go on that software. It's like, oh, I want this game. You search it up. You want the what's it, the Japanese one or the American one? It's like American one, and it downloads it directly to your system. It takes
Yeah.
forever, but
I have an NVIDIA Shield Pro, TV Pro, and there's an emulation software you can put on that. I forget what it's called now. Happy Chick maybe, or anyway, it's basically the same thing. You just but it's got MAME too. I
mhm,
don't know if you've ever played any of the old arcades like The Simpsons.
mhm.
They you can get all that stuff just with a few clicks of a button. Yeah, I really dig the
Speaking of
old
old
stuff.
arcade games, are you into the old Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle arcade games?
Yep. I
So
dropped a lot of quarters on games like that, man.
so what was your reaction when they announced that new Turtles arcade game style game?
Uh, I mean, they've had all kinds of them.
I'm talking
I
about
don't know.
there's a new one that looks like Turtles in Time coming out. I don't,
Oh,
it's
it
either
looks like it still looks like Turtles in Time.
yeah, it's think of it like a spiritual think of it like it's a lot of people that did a lot of people that did what's it called? Scott Pilgrim versus the World. They're doing a Teenage Mutant
Hmm.
Ninja Turtles game by you.
Oh wow.
I think it's Ubisoft, but I could be wrong about that. And I forgot the actual title of it. But
I would check it out. I haven't had a chance to check out the new Battletoads either. I think that's come
oh,
out
okay.
like a year ago. I haven't played that either, but I'd like to check out both. I like those kind of games. So,
Yeah.
although the original Battletoads was quite frustrating.
Yeah. Yeah, well the rare replay made it a lot easier, so if you have an old Xbox One, you can always check that out.
Right on.
So we talked about favorite games of the year. What about your favorite game of the eighth generation? Have you been playing a lot
Hmm.
of consoles from the eighth generation?
Yeah, I guess the last console I actually played a lot of was the PS3.
Gotcha.
So I've been out of it since then. And then I started building PCs. Like, um, I used to was into movies and stuff, and I would transcode. I don't
Mm-hmm.
know if you know, it takes a lot of resources out of your PC anyway to do it quickly and to do it efficiently and all that stuff. And I at this time, I barely played my PS3. I wanted to get into uh, movies and stuff like that. So I got this nice computer, but I had it built for me. And I said I need a really kick-ass graphics card. I need a really nice CPU, and those are the only things that the money was spent on. Like it had a very like the cheapest power supply you could get, the
Mm-hmm.
cheapest harnesses you could get, like the cheapest motherboard you could get that would take my CPU that I had wanted. Like, yeah, after I went through that, I was like, I'll just build a PC.
Mm-hmm.
And for anybody out there, it's not hard. It's pretty
No,
dang easy.
no.
So
I have a friend that his sister built a PC real quick and it worked her first try. And she never built
yep.
a PC and they didn't even ask me for help. So either they had help without me knowing or it was so easy that they just did it on their own.
Yeah, most of it's all plug and play now.
Yeah.
The hardest part of building a computer is getting a part that is bad that you don't know is bad.
Mm-hmm.
That's the hardest part because most people don't have a workbench to just slap the graphics card on and that's good, and then
Right.
test the CPU and then test the RAM. They're building it all and then seeing what happens. So yeah,
See,
there's always a cross your fingers and roll the dice when you hit the power button after building one.
See, I learned the trick. So what you do is you put the motherboard on the motherboard box. You plug in the processor, and you plug in the cooler, then the RAM, then plug in the power supply, then turn it on.
So So basically, what you're saying is that your trick is build the damn thing outside of the case and then tear it apart and put it back in the case.
No. Okay, here's what you do.
Okay, because that wasn't sounding like a shortcut.
No. It's you're kind of on the ball, but you plug in the easy stuff outside, like the processor, the RAM. That could be done outside the box, and the cooler. Like, let's just say you're not using some like high-tech water cooler and stuff like
or
that.
One that comes from both sides to mount. Yeah.
Right. And you can actually turn it on. You depends on the motherboard. Even motherboards have a button where you can actually turn it on outside the outside the box. Now, if it post, guess what? Your processor, your RAM works. So then you could put that in the case. Because it would suck if you put everything in the case, put everything together.
Oh, trust me.
And
I've built 8 computers, and the third one I built was for my mom and dad, and the motherboard came a dud.
Right.
So I built it, and it wouldn't boot. It wouldn't do nothing. Wouldn't even give me a postcode or like hey dummy, you didn't do this or that, with a couple of beeps or something. No, it was like I had to figure it out, and when I did, I was pissed.
Yeah, so that's how I do it. The hardest part for me is the easy part for a lot of people is actually lining up the board with the case and the IO shield.
Oh, okay.
See, everything else for me that's easy, but that right there is the hardest part for me for some reason.
Yeah, there's always like to make it flush and perfect, and I know what you're saying. and there's just like a little tiny groove that it wants to snap into. Also, yeah, it can be a pain.
So after the PS3, you kind of got into PC gaming. So what was your some of your favorite PC games that you played?
Let's see. Man, I can't think of the they 3 came out a few years ago, and they're trying to Dragon Age. Okay. Yeah, Dragon Age 1 and 2 were 2 games that I loved on PC, and then The Witcher 2. That was good on PC. Later I played The Witcher 3, and I thought that was fantastic as well. There's a lot of good PC games. Matter of fact, one of my favorite PC games of all time. There's 2 of them, but the second one was a lot better than the first, I thought. Now, the animation, like as gore goes, as in like if you touched a character, you'd want to wash your hands. The first one definitely was more realistic. The second one became a little cartoony, but Shadow of War and Shadow of Mordor. Those are 2 of my favorite games on PC, man. It's like Assassin's Creed a little bit, but you're in the Lord of the Rings world, hunting down and assassinating orcs, and they have a nemesis system, which, let's say you ambush an orc and you burn this sucker, and he starts to get the upper hand after he was burnt, and you run away. Next time you see him, he might talk about how you burnt him and how he's going to kill you this time, or how you're a coward and you ran away and now it's time to die or whatever. It just builds these little stories for you. Loved those 2 games, man. They're just fantastic. And then when Shadow of War came out, it just upped it to another level. Like every single orc would look at the main character and shit talk. Like the game made you want to kill these things. It was just amazing.
Now, what's the point of Shadow of Mordor and Shadow of War besides killing orcs? Because when I started playing, they just kind of I felt like they just kind of threw me in there and they just told me to have fun, figure it out.
Yeah, they don't hold your hand too much.
Okay.
They do in Shadow of War a little bit because there's more mechanics they want you to learn. But basically what the story is I'm going to say his name wrong, but Celebrimbor was tricked by Sauron into helping him craft these rings, and the elf was killed, but he didn't, like his spirit didn't cross over to the afterlife, and it just kind of hung around getting pissed off and frustrated at Sauron and his power. Anyway, here comes this guy named Talion who gets he's a there's something called the Black Gate. There's a whole bunch of lore that I'm not going to get into.
Gotcha.
But he was one of the last men of Gondor or whatever, and he was watching this Black Gate, and Sauron's forces expand out from this gate, and he becomes a part of like a blood ritual for Sauron, and Celebrimbor interrupts the process, and like his like spirit kind of bonds with the main character, and now you become both life and death. And the story is about finding these pieces of Celebrimbor's past, because he even has been alive and around so long he forgot some of his own history. So once you remind him of all that, you try to kill Sauron, and there's a part 2, so you can figure how that goes. It doesn't work.
Gotcha.
But part 2, you reforge the One Ring. So Sauron has the ring that Frodo has to go destroy, and Celebrimbor and Talion go and craft another ring, and then from there you go out and try to create a massive army of orcs and take back Mordor and stuff. It's a fabulous game. If that came to Stadia, I would stream that a shit ton, just because of all the banter.
So before we get into how you got into Stadia, would you watch Lord of the Rings, all the extended movies back to back?
No, and the reason I say no is because I would only watch the extended versions, which are 4 hours long, and that is a hell of a lot of movie for 3 of them.
Yeah, I did that one time, and holding down a full-time job, it was like go to work, go home, watch it, couple hours, go home. It was like watching like binging your favorite show on Netflix.
Right.
Just have the movie on pause.
I do like to binge shows, but I could probably watch the 3-hour versions, like all of them back to back, but I prefer the 4-hour versions. There's so much rich content that was cut from those movies, you know?
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So, so you're PC gaming, and 2019 rolls around, you hear about Stadia. How did you get into Stadia? What's your story on that?
So I was a PC gamer, and I had purchased an NVIDIA Shield. It wasn't a Pro at the time. It was an NVIDIA Shield TV. It was the second gen, the little skinnier, smaller versions. But anyway, make a long story short, I bought an NVIDIA Shield TV, and basically I started game streaming. So like, okay, I have a PC and it's awesome, and I had a long HDMI cable that I would run to my big screen TV so I could play on the big screen. Well, I got tired of flipping that around and unplugging it and all that, so I went and got this NVIDIA Shield, and it said that you could game stream. So if you had the proper GPU, which I have a GTX 970, you could stream the game across your network, your Wi-Fi or your Ethernet, from your network just to the TV or wherever you wanted it to go. And it worked really, really well. So I really liked that. And then through the NVIDIA Shield, they introduced GeForce Now. So anybody that bought a NVIDIA Shield, the original and the smaller NVIDIA Shield, they were automatically entered into the GeForce Now beta, pretty much. And there was no queue. There was no queues at that time. And I thought, well, hey man, I'll check it out. I wasn't thinking cloud gaming or lag or any of that stuff. It was just natural to, oh man, I can play those games too. So I clicked on the Arkham series of Batman games. Well, I played through all 4 of them that were on there at the time, and I couldn't tell the real difference between the playing through the Shield. I couldn't tell the difference of lag or anything. You know, I'd move my character, he would move like if I was playing on my PC or if I was game streaming from my PC. So anyway, I was a fan of GeForce Now, and then cut to about a year later, I'm sitting down at the computer, and it wasn't even live, I don't think. I watched it back a day or 2 later, but they had the Stadia event where they brought out Phil Harris, I think his name is, and they were all talking about Stadia, and then they showed a map of all the node locations where the server blades would be located, where Stadia platform exists. And I looked at all of those damn node locations around the world, and then I brought up GeForce Now's node locations, and it was night and day. Like Google was ready to take over the planet already. So
Right.
at that point, I was sold on getting the Founders Edition. I knew that GeForce Now worked, and if Google had more locations and some that were even closer to me, it was going to work even better for me. That's what I figured. And I told a bunch of my friends. A couple of them got excited, and then Stadia came out, and I tested Destiny 2, and Destiny 2 felt just as responsive or better than GeForce Now. So I said, fuck it, started buying games. I never looked back, because the hardware thing's big for me. Every 2 years, I don't want to spend $800 on a graphics card. I just don't want to do it. Now, I do want all the bells and whistles too, but I don't want to buy hardware no more. So
Right. Well, you still may have to buy a new graphics card because you are streaming and all that stuff. So
correct. Yep. Absolutely.
Unless you want to start using Google Stadia streaming service, which is not really that good right now, but some people, that's all they have.
No, it's been crashing for some people lately, and I'm not sure if it's the game or if it's something they need to tweak on the back end, but I hope they get it sorted out soon, because it's frustrating. Man, you're a streamer. Whenever you start building up that momentum, especially if you start to have a good time, like a real good time, and then you have to start over again and hurry up, it just sucks.
Right.
Now, granted, you probably have your ducks in a row and you probably don't crash live very often, but when it does happen, it does sting a little bit, because you want to just get back into it and get everybody back,
See, with my issue is my internet. I only have a 10 up connection, so I'm debating, like, my neighborhood does not have a fiber optic connection. So if I were to get gigabit, I would only have 35 up, and that's only $50 extra than what I'm paying now. I'm debating, should I just be a cheap ass and keep what I have, because there's only sometimes where I don't have enough up connection, or they throttle my internet.
Right. That's probably more like it, because
Yeah.
I have 20 up, man, and I don't have a problem doing 7 up at a constant rate, 7.5 or whatever it's set at.
Okay.
But I can tell you this: your streams look pretty good, like quality wise. But if you want to stream 4K, if you want to capture 4K and upload 4K, you go get that other package for sure. But 1080p, man, I think that's doable, man. Definitely with 10.
See, I go with the medium common denominator, because a phone, 1080p. The majority of people have 1080p. Granted, YouTube could switch it up. With Twitch, you have to be affiliate or partner if you want to have a variable bit rate. And with Twitch streaming, the maximum is 6,000. Has a 6,000 bit rate
on Twitch.
Yeah, if you're just a average streamer. I stream with a 4.5 bit rate, if you guys want to know. And
that's pretty dope, though.
Yeah, thank you.
Because your PS5 streams were looking slick, man. So that's really good.
See, with me, I'm very anal when it comes to my stream quality. So I spend more time getting my quality better than my stream more than I stream. Like, I'll spend hours tinkering around with video settings, audio settings, more than I actually record and stream. I actually use a 4K capture card. That's actually internal. I don't use
but do you run your Chromecast Ultra into it, or are you capturing from the browser?
When it comes to Stadia, I capture browser. When it comes to PC, Stadia, any cloud gaming service, I capture through browser, because I don't have a what's it called, a
A
HDCP
switcher or
stripper.
whatever.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
stripper.
Yep.
Then
Yep.
consoles are pretty good about, you could turn it off during gameplay, so that's what I use my 4K capture card for.
Gotcha.
Then the good thing about my capture card is it has a dual recorder. I forgot the actual term. So I can actually stream with my overlays and all that, then record a 4K raw gameplay, what I could for me to use for actual YouTube videos.
That's awesome. Yeah, see, that's what I was basically. Um, if I was gonna dump more money in, I would get a 3080, and then I would get some kind of 4K 60 capture card. I'd get the HDCP splitter, and split or and run 4K straight into it and try to upload 4K. But I've only got 20 up anyway.
Right.
But
yeah, most people have a 1080p stream. So for me, it was like, why even bother? Because for me, it takes forever to it takes forever for me to like actually edit 4K videos, and it takes like it takes over a day to like upload the actual video and process it. Like I dabbled into the 4K for a while, and it's just like too much resources for now. And 1080p looks pretty good. So
it is, and most people, if they go to YouTube anyway, they're not video snobs, like, unless they just bought a TV and they're looking for 4K content to throw on it to look at. That's usually it.
Yeah. A lot of people actually use their phone for YouTube. So I cater to phone and desktop users. And the majority of people on desktop use a 1080p screen. If you're a esports player, you're probably using a 1080p screen with 144 hertz. If you're a graphics snob like me, you're probably running a 1440p monitor.
Well, see, let's say I had 50 upload, right? I'm still screwed. I would have to go buy a new graphics card because my graphics card will not use the codec that Stadia uses for 4K.
Now,
and if I try to force it to the H.264 or whatever, then it gets incredibly laggy and horrible because the CPU is working instead of the GPU, if you know what I'm saying, software side or whatever.
Yeah. Are you still rocking the 970?
Yeah, that's what I've got is a GTX 970.
Okay, yeah, because you mentioned that you were rocking it, but I didn't know if you were still rocking it.
Yeah, I wanted to upgrade to a 2080, and then the 3080s came out, but nah, I'm not.
Right now,
I can capture a 1080p stream from my monitor's desktop or my one monitor, and I'm good with that. The only way I'd be buying another graphics card is if this one died, so I could keep streaming because it's a lot of fun.
I have a 980 in the desktop I have down there that I only use for Statmania. Then I have a 1080 in my game collection back there.
Right on. Yep, graphics cards are really cool. I love all that.
I don't know, like what would be a good starting price. So getting back into your Stadia, you were testing out Destiny 2, right? What other games did you get into on the first year of Statmania? I mean, on Stadia.
Basically Red Dead Redemption 2. I have a 970, and at the time, before I rebuilt my computer, I had like 32 gigs of RAM, and I mean, it was a beast of a computer. But I wasn't going to get anywhere near the resolution. Like Red Dead Redemption 2 isn't 4K native on Stadia, but it is 1440p. I wouldn't have been able to run that game at the level Stadia could with my 970. I would have had to have upgraded. I would have wanted to get close to 2K with ultra setting. You know what I'm saying? Like, but anyway, so I bought Red Dead and I put a lot of time into that game.
Single player or multiplayer?
Or both. I think I put about 400 hours into single player, and I put like 1,000 or more, 1,100 or 1,200 into online. So like I played through the first time, and tried to do everything. I came pretty close, and then I played, and I was trying to redeem Arthur through the first playthrough. Then the second playthrough, I was the villain. I just killed everyone and tried to be a bastard.
Gotcha.
You know. Yep.
You're in the beginning of the game, like you meet some guy that follows you, and he almost falls off the cliff.
Yeah, you chase him.
Yeah, you chase him and he almost falls off the cliff. So I assume on the second playthrough you let him die.
Oh yeah.
And on the first one you let him live and he gave you that pen, right?
Yep.
Yeah, I remember that mission.
You way up north of Annisburg, you know, you've got the map and it comes down like this. Well, up here, way at the top, there's a lady that you meet, and her husband is dead, and she's like starving to death. And Arthur, or what's his name, John Marston, finds her and teaches her to hunt and gets her on her feet. Well, there's a lot more to it if you find her with Arthur. Well, as you trot up on this horse to come see her, you hear crying from the woods and stuff. And you go trotting up, and she's literally squatted over her husband's grave crying, putting flowers down. Well, the first time I went up and I helped her, and I showed her how to hunt and everything. The second playthrough, I just strode up, shot her in the back of the head, and rifled through her pockets. Then went in her house, took all of her stuff and her chewing tobacco, and yep, that was that.
Damn.
Yep.
Yeah, I gotta go back and play that. Like I'm kind of torn because I did buy it on Stadia as well, but I also have it on PC. So I'm like, I'm on chapter 2 on Stadia, but I'm on chapter 3 on PC. So like, which one should I play it on? You know?
Yeah, I'm not sure. I mean, are you the guy that wants the best of the best? Because if it is, man, you crank up one of your beasts you got.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
You know?
Yeah, because I bought it on both just to test it out on both.
Oh, I gotcha. But I really enjoy it on Stadia, though. And the one thing that I enjoy on Stadia for Red Dead Redemption 2, and I'm very grateful, is everybody wants crossplay for these games, because the Stadia, like, not a lot of the community likes PvP, or not a lot of the community is into Red Dead, whatever. So not a lot of players are out there. But here's the thing. If you start crossplay, people on PC are hackers and modders and shit. And like, you can warp into the world, turn to crypts, and burst into flame, or be teleported halfway across the map with 14 other horses. Like, I mean, like, crazy stuff happens. So thank God Red Dead is not crossplay on Stadia.
I would enjoy it with less people, because have you played let's just say Grand Theft Auto Online on a console? When
I have not played it on a console, but I do know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Even Red Dead, it can be troublesome, bothersome playing with a whole server of 24 to 30 people. But there's little glitches sometimes, and one of them was a way to get into a private server, a permanent private server. So if you and a buddy helped each other, you could end up in a private world, and then anybody you invited could stay in this world. And the way that the Red Dead servers are set up is it's peer-to-peer. So everybody, or it's like a chain of computers, and they're all communicating with each other to build the world around you, to know this guy's over there and he's got 3 dead animals on the ground, and the computers are constantly communicating or whatever. On Stadia, everybody is like the same. Everybody has the exact same connection and everything else, because it's Google. Like, so it just runs smoother. But when you get 24 people onto with it built like that, you get 24 people onto a server, sometimes animals won't spawn. Gotcha. Well, part of the game is hunting. Well, you're going to need animals to spawn. And when you go into a private server, all the animals come out and all the random events come out.
So you can't select a private server from a menu or anything?
No,
Okay, yeah,
no, you can't.
because
People would
GTA
pay for
Online,
that.
GTA Online does that. But
Do they?
you cannot do like big missions like heist or anything like that. But you could do like small jobs, you know, like
But do you have to? Do you have to like pay for that option?
no,
Is there a premium to do it?
what you do is you go into the GTA world, then you go into the menu, you know, play an invite only server. But you cannot do but the whole game is
I
not
gotcha.
but you cannot do like big jobs like you know how
Yeah, Rockstar doesn't offer that, but I do know that a lot of players would
mhm.
pay $5 to $10 to have their own Red Dead world to run in and invite their friends to.
Yeah. I just for me, I just don't like walking around, doing my own thing, then get killed randomly. Then
Yep.
spawn in, then someone else kill me. That's why I stopped playing
Well,
GTA.
you can ask Stadia Vet, man. If anybody comes in 10 feet of me with a lasso, they get shot. That's just how it works.
Why did he accidentally do that?
Yeah. But the lasso, man, it's aggravating because you can kill yourself to respawn, okay?
Hmm.
But they can also jump on their horse and get to you by the time you're actually in world. So like if you get hogtied, they can keep kicking you. Like you go to struggle to get out of it, and
Hmm.
it has a little graph start up, and it starts to count down and go around till you can get free. Well, all they got to do is smack you, and then it's full again.
Hmm.
So they can carry you on their back and just randomly elbow you, and you get carried around and get manhandled. It's kind of crazy. So whenever somebody busts out a lasso, I
Hmm.
shoot them.
Okay. So we have 4 minutes left. What
All right.
games are you anticipating on Stadia or outside of Stadia?
Outriders. I'm anticipating the end of Baldur's Gate 3 so that you can actually play through the entire game. I'm looking forward to the Mafia remastered trilogy and the Mass Effect trilogy. Those are some ones that I'm really looking forward to. Hopefully, they come to Stadia. If
Hmm.
not, I may have to break down and see how my 970 handles them.
Um,
Sadly, I will not be able to play those games and stream them though, because that'd be too much.
I don't think your 970 could handle the Mafia ones.
The Mafia remakes.
Yeah, I think you might have to go down to 720 because especially with 3, it may handle 2, but 1 and 3 is just
Mm-hmm.
demanding and 1 pretty much has like all the same enhancements as 3.
Oh, okay.
I have them for the PC and I was playing them on my 1080.
Well, here's hoping they come to Stadia then.
Yeah. Mass
I think
Effect,
Mafia is, but
yeah, Mass Effect, you should be fine. I think so, unless they really enhance it without. But I think you'll
well,
be
I
fine
always
in
figured
1080.
that I always figured that if the Mass Effect trilogy
Hmm.
came out, that we might get one on Pro possibly,
Hmm.
and then have to buy 2 or 3. But
Right.
I've played them all on PC, and I really enjoyed the Mass Effect games. They were really really cool.
Yeah. Thank you for showing up, Christopher. With me, I'm actually anticipating Outriders. Do you know if that's going to be crossplay?
I believe it is, but I'm not 100%. I haven't downloaded the demo and even checked it out yet.
Okay.
It's sad that Stadia didn't get the demo, but
Yeah.
I'm this close to going to download it to check it out.
Yeah,
I heard it's really good.
I'm
A lot
into
of people like
like
it.
I enjoyed the demo. I didn't really get into it because I'm afraid to start over when the game actually comes
Hmm.
out. So I did a couple missions. I did a stream on it. Um, so what's it called? Yeah, Outriders. I'm anticipating that on the PS5. It kind of runs weird. It has a lot of frame skips with a lot of cutscenes. So I might go with PC. Maybe it'll run smoother on the PC. Mass Effect. Oh my god.
Yeah, I love those
I
games.
bought a digital copy PS4, then I bought a physical copy Xbox One and PS4. So
What did you
I'm
think of 3 in the ending to the
it was
story?
fine.
Yeah, I didn't piss on it like everybody else did.
No.
Anything sci-fi like that really makes you like think, or they try
Mhm.
to make you think. Some of that stuff can be real good, you know.
Mhm. Yeah. So I'm triple dipping on that one. I might quadruple dip So I might actually end up getting it on PC as well. If it does come out on Stadia, I might just get it on Stadia instead of PC. We'll see.
What's that? What's that sports game, man? Where you're supposed to be in world with like 36 people or something, and you can snowboard and
Oh,
skydive and what the
Riders
hell's that?
Republic.
Yeah, that's another one I'm looking forward to.
Yeah, Riders
I'm hoping
Republic.
that
I'm hoping
I'm
that
hoping that it has ragdoll physics
mhm.
and like you smack a tree and you just laugh at what your character does. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, I'm hoping that 6-4 and I, or 6-4 and a group of people, could actually stream it once a week for a while. I'll probably pick
That'd
that
be
up
awesome.
on Stadia as well. Resident Evil Village, excited for that one. For Stadia,
Yeah.
Judgment. I love the Yakuza games. You don't need to play the other Yakuza games to enjoy that one, so that would be a perfect game
Oh,
for
that's cool.
anyone to get started in Yakuza. So you don't need to play the other 8 games for that.
Yeah, sometimes that can be daunting when you got to
Right.
figure out like 7 other titles to figure out
Right.
where you're at and what you're doing.
But if you want to get into the Yakuza games, let me know. I'll tell you the order you should play them in. The Final Fantasy VII Remake PS5 Yuffie episode. I'm excited for that one. Other than that, maybe Final Fantasy 16.
Right? Far Cry 6 too.
Oh
I'm
yeah,
looking forward to Far Cry
6.
6. Yeah. That's going to be hopefully good.
Mm-hmm.
The actor, I can't say his name correctly, Esposito or whatever. He's an awesome actor.
Right.
And he'll bring his A game. He'll be a creepy dude, I'm sure.
Hopefully he'll be better than Pagan Min.
Yeah, true. Man, I tell you, I really liked Far Cry 5. Like, I really did. I liked it a lot. There was a lot of similarities between John Seed and David Koresh of the Branch Davidians. But New Dawn was a cash grab, straight up. New Dawn should have been a DLC for 5. It was the same size as all the other DLCs, the Mars and the Vietnam. I don't know, man. It was a cash grab, major.
I'm hoping, like, I'm a frame rate guy, so Far Cry needs to be 60 FPS on a platform for me to enjoy it. So if I cannot get any Ubisoft games 60 FPS on Stadia, I'm not going to get it on Stadia.
Yeah, PC's for you then, because I think they only run at 30. I think on Stadia right now.
Yeah.
Or
what about Valhalla? Have you played that?
Yeah. Yep. I actually I completed it.
Is that 60?
I didn't complete everything, but I completed the main story.
Is that 60 on Stadia? 60 FPS on Stadia?
They have 2 modes. They have one that does resolution and one that focuses on frame rate.
Okay.
So I'm guessing 1440p probably at 30, and then upscaled to 4K, and then 1080p 60 is what I'm guessing.
Okay, yeah. If they do that on with Far Cry 6, I'll probably pick it up on Stadia.
Right on.
Is there any other games?
The best thing about Stadia is load times, man. But I'll tell you something. Watch Dogs Legion to get online. I thought I was doing something wrong. I'm just impatient. It took like 8 minutes to load Watch Dogs Legion online. 8 minutes. You sit there and you wait for the line to come across. Finally, it comes all the way across and it makes a ching like a chime. And then you sit there for another 3.5 minutes, wondering like, did it crash? What the hell's going on? And then finally, you go to the screen where you select if I don't know. It was crazy.
Was it just like a one-time thing, or did it happen?
No, every time I go to get online, it takes like 6.5, 7 minutes to, Now, once you're in and you select, online or going alone or whatever you do after you click online and do that first loading screen, it loads into the game pretty quick. Okay. Just like when you go to campaign, it loads into the game really quick. It's just loading into their online servers real janky right now.
Gotcha. Maybe they just need to iron it out.
Probably some tweaks.
Yeah, I'll probably have to test it out. I have it for the PS5, so I'll probably test it out and we'll see
That'd be a cool comparison because yeah, it takes a long time. Like I
Yeah.
literally shut it down 3 times because I thought, no, there's no way it crashed.
Yeah.
Nope, it didn't crash. I'm getting spoiled with Stadia. Things load so fast now. If they don't load fast, I'm like, what is wrong? What's going on?
Yep. So we're a little past our time. So where can
Okay.
people find you?
Well, I am William Piper on Facebook, which I don't do Facebook gaming, but on YouTube, my channel is Stadia Pro Gaming. On Twitter, I'm William81676497. It's a whole bunch of numbers, but that's where you guys can find me at. And I do stream Mondays, sometimes Wednesdays, and Fridays from 12 CST to 2 p.m. CST.
Gotcha. And I'm Garrett. I have 2 channels, GMillion. GMillion's my main channel. I upload a video once a week, and that's just very topic-based videos. Because if I stream on that channel, I lose subs for some reason. Then I made a GMillion Plays channel. This is my streaming channel and my gameplay channel. So if you want to hang out with me while I stream, you come here. Or if you want a video once a week where I review something, talk about something, you go there. But since there are people here, you guys know, my next video is my first impressions on this headset. I finally got it. Took me 3 months to get it because it was sold out everywhere, like the PlayStation 5. And as soon as I make a cool thumbnail, I'll publish that video. Other than that, any last words before we head out?
No, just pretty much be kind to one another, be good to one another. That's about it.
Yep. Be safe. Wash your hands. Wash your feet.
Wash your butt.
Wash your butt. Don't let the dog lick it. And we're